from memory, this is what I could pull up. So this is how the hallways were. So this way was like, there was like a big like ballroom here where the panels were. And then so you had to like go around this like balcony thing. And then you'd go up these stairs down this really long hallway. And then the photo op room would be here. And then you'd go this way and like cut to the stage, which was like over here. Anyways, so we hung out in this hallway a lot because there were plugins and our phones kept dying. So this is where we mostly hung out when there wasn't a panel going on. And so, because the stage was here and the photo ops were here and the elevators were here, the guys would like always be walking and like everybody would be like walking this way, right? So we'd be like sitting there charging our phones and like Rob and Rich would walk by and they're like, oh, you're still charging your phones. We're like, yeah. And they're like, ours are fully charged. And we're like, so we like saw like him and Matt and Rob and Rich and everybody like over, like I ran into Misha a couple times and I told him he looked very, oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's on Sunday. No, that was Saturday. But, yeah, but anyways, so like we ran into people all the time in that hallway. So, oh yeah, so Misha the first day he was there for Saturday, he wore like this sweater vest and like a baby blue blazer. And he just looked like his mother dressed him, which was adorable. And I told him, like, he like walked by when I was sitting there charging my phone and I was like, Misha, you look very dapper today. And he stopped and he looked at me. He was like, you look very beautiful in your dress. And I was like, Misha. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, you're making me blush, Misha. And yeah, so Misha told me I looked beautiful. So I'm pretty. Then what else happened on Saturday is when I called Jared a fucking douchebag or asshole. I don't remember what it was. I was like, you fucking... He scared the living crap out of me. And so, like, in this hallway here, they had all, like, the vendors and stuff, and they had the cardboard cutouts of the guys. And I was taking these girls' picture. And I was saying how Misha's looked life-size and proportional, but, excuse me, but Jared didn't. Jared looked like an inch taller than Misha, which is not true. And he, like, looked very disproportional, and I was like, psh, I'm like, Jared's not that tall. And then I feel someone's hand on my shoulder. He's, I'm taller than that guy. And I thought it was another dude hitting on me. I'm like, okay, you fucking douche. And I turn around, and it's Jared, of all fucking people. And I was just like, like my jaw was on the floor, and I wanted to be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was speechless. Like, I was just like, oh my god. And he, like, he ran away giggling. And it was hilarious. And he was wearing his white beanie, and he was so beautiful. Jared! It was amazing. And, like, everyone just stared at me, and I was like, what just happened? And Mary was on the, because she had to charge her phone, and we're like, we don't need to, and she's like, no, I need to charge it. So she, like, found a wall charger, and Mary's the whole reason why I called Jared an asshole. But it was amazing. And I was just like, my jaw was just on the floor, and I was like, I'm like, Jared touched my shoulder involuntarily. Like, he just came up to me. It was amazing. And then, yeah, and then everyone would come up to me like, you see Jared? I'm like, uh-huh. It was amazing. And then what else? And then Jared crashed Misha's panel. No one come in my room, please. Oh, what else? Sunday fun day. Sunday is when I met Jensen. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Matt Cohan. Oh my god. So we got our picture taken. I, like, at the last minute decided to do, like, a little, like leg kick. And so Chris took our picture twice. And so Chris was like, oh, we have to take it again, Matt. Because, like, Matt was already like, oh, okay, bye. And I was like, and Chris is like, wait, hold up. He's like, I gotta do it again. And Matt's like, what? Did I blink? Did I look ugly? And Chris is like, yeah, Matt, you looked ugly. I was just like, I'm like, Matt can never look ugly. But, anyways, and I told him that he was really gorgeous, and he said I was too, and I was just like, Matt said I was gorgeous. Would he really think that? I don't know. But, anyways, for Jared and Jensen, we were, yes, Mary, if you're watching this, I have the ticket still. I have your ticket. She bought it, I didn't. I only bought, Mark and Matt. But we were 137, my lucky number. And so I think that was like, what? And I still have the schedule, because I'm trash. I think they did like 1 through like 50 or maybe like 1 through 100. So it was like, after it was like, when it was like 1 to 200, like we just like got up and booked it. We're like, we're out of here! Like, Jared, Jensen, yay! And so we like ran with everybody else. And we stood in line for, I don't remember how long, but we made friends in line. I can't remember what her name was, but we like helped her look for her friend Megan, and I was just like, Megan! I felt like I was on Drake and Josh. And I was like standing up in the crowd, I'm like, Megan! I still have no idea who Megan is. I would love to meet Megan. Megan, I'd love to meet you, Megan. Anyways, so yeah, I made a friend, and I don't know if she watches this or even knows if I make these videos, but I have a bloody nose. And, as I just get a bloody nose right in the middle of my video. This is wonderful. But, so she made Jared and Jensen wear flower crowns, and her picture was perfect. It was adorable, and I love it. And, anyways, so, standing in line, like, so, because they were in a room, and so, like, naturally, the line would, like, supernaturally, the line, like, went around, like, out the door, and then, like, around, and then, like, down a hallway, right? Like, to the end of the universe. And so, we were, like, standing in line, like, I don't think we stood in line that long. I mean, it wasn't, you don't stand in line really that long, because they like to move people, but, like, Jared and Jensen are like, no, I want to talk to you guys, which was, like, really sweet. And, so we were standing in line. Sorry if it's really hard to understand me now. So we were standing in line, and so when I was, like, outside the room, I was freaking out. Like, I was just like, oh my god. Like, I was freaking, I don't know if I was freaking out. No, I freaked out about Mark the most. I think maybe because he was, like, the first one that I officially met. That Mark was the first one that I was like, I'm going to be, like, he was my first photo op. So I was like, I was very stressed out. But anyways, so, like, I was, like, standing outside the room, and I was just like, I was freaking out. I was, like, pitting out, and I'm like, I'm gonna be all sticky and sweaty. And I'm like, I don't want to be disgusting. But I think I was. And so, like, outside of the room, I was, like, panic level, like, here. Like, I was just like, oh my god, what is going on? The moment we, like, stepped in the way, we like, granted, like, we did get to, like, one door, and they were these two closed double doors. But, like, I saw that there was a peephole, and I'm like, what? And I, like, go over to the peephole, and I could see them, and I'm like, they're right there. And so, I was so happy, but, like, when we got into the room, and I was just like, okay, like, they're right there. I was like, okay. I was able to calm down a little bit, but I couldn't look at them. Like, I was just like, I cannot look at them. I cannot look at them. If I look at them, I will die. I will like turn it. They are Medusa. I cannot look at them. I will turn into stone. Oh my gosh. Like, so, and then, so we were like standing on like that line, because like they have like a line, right? Like, kind of, you know, like when you get your pictures taken for school, like you have that line behind the camera. So you're on that, like, on the deck line, and you're like, oh my god, like, they're right there. Like, you're like, fourth wall broken! Fourth wall broken! And they're right there. And it's just amazing. And you're just like, they're right there. They're right there. And I couldn't look at them. I was like, I can't look at them. I can't look at them. I'm like, how am I going to get my picture? How am I going to be, like, standing next to them and getting my picture taken? I don't understand. Now, if you are getting a Jared Jensen J2 photo op, or by themselves, so the rule is that, like, if you do, like, a pose or whatever that's not hugging, you still get to hug them after the picture. But if you are just still hugging them, you just get a like, if you want to be, like, having, like, you're like, hiya, and then they would do, like, a kung fu pose back. I mean, you still get to hug them. So you still get to hug them no matter what. You get to hug them. But, so anyways, so I was just like, what am I even gonna do? Like, I've spent, like, ever since I got the tickets, I had spent months thinking, I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do in this picture? Turns out I just hugged all of them in my picture. Tried not to die with Mark. But, anyways, so I'm just like, oh god. And then, like, the ladies, like, turned to me and Mary, and she was like, alright, your turn. And I was like, excuse me? And I'm like, okay. And I, like, look up. Jensen looks at me, and I was like, Jensen looks straight at me and just opens up his arms, and I was like, I scream, I bolted, I knocked him over. I am 5'2.5". I weigh 115 pounds, and I knocked over Jensen Ross Ackles. He couldn't stop laughing. He was like, how much do you weigh? And I'm like, you don't ask a woman how much you weigh. Oops. Excuse me. I was like, you don't ask a woman how much she weighs. So I get up, we get vertical again, and I was like, I hugged him so hard, and I never want to let go. I never wanted to, like, Jared didn't even register. Jared didn't exist. Sorry, Jared, you don't exist. Didn't exist. He didn't. Me and Jensen were the only two people in that room for all I care. All I know, all I care, all I remember, it was just me and Jensen. In a room, alone, together. Not really, I wish. No, I think I would be too awkward. But anyway, so I hugged him. My favorite part about the whole photo op, and I didn't realize until days later, my boobs were like this against, he was touching my boobs. It was amazing. I was like, my boobs are squished up against your chest. You don't know how many times I wish that, like, it was amazing. Like, I even registered that Jared was there. And then, like, after the picture was taken, after Chris took our picture, they're like, oh, so how's it going? And I'm like, it's amazing. And then, all of a sudden, like, when they asked that, well, Jared said that, and I was like, oh, Jared's here too. No clue Jared was even there. I'm sorry I keep knocking this. It's plugged in. But Jared wasn't there. I was like, oh, Jared's here. Oh, look at that. What are you seeing you here, Jared? And then, all of a sudden, I was like, my, like, switch flipped from, like, fangirling to just, like, talking to my best friend, who was right next to me. But I was just, like, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, hey, Jared. I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, all of a sudden, I was, like, the chillest person ever, just talking with them. And I told the story about how Jared scared me, and I called him a fucking asshole, and Jensen's like, because he is a fucking asshole. And I'm like, I knew. And I called it. That I told Mary, I was like, the night before, I'm like, if I tell Jared and Jensen about what happened today with, shit.